Good evening. Here are tonight's top stories. 8 Indian nationals deported to Suriname for illegal entry into Guyana. Truck driver remanded on multiple charges, including firearm and narcotics possession. Housewife granted bail on narcotics trafficking charge. Tafin Khan retains the National Chess Championship title. Police investigate a shooting incident on Water Street. A 56-year-old man busted with 9 kilograms of cannabis is remanded to prison. Police report a surge in speeding tickets on East Bank Demerara, intensifying enforcement measures. Emmanuel Archibald sets a new national record in the men's 100 meters at the National Track and Field Championships. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo speaks on vouchers for cervical cancer testing and the $7 billion cost of living allocation. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Police investigate shooting incident on Water Street. Police are investigating a shooting incident that occurred on Friday night, leaving Joseph Singh, a 64-year-old laborer, with a gunshot wound to his hand. The incident took place around 21:30 HRS on Water Street, in the vicinity of Munshurs Limited. According to initial reports, Singh was walking north on Water Street when he noticed a gray pit bull bus with a trade plate carrying 2 unidentified males. One of the occupants discharged several rounds in Singh's direction before the bus drove off northwards. Singh sustained a gunshot wound to his hand and was subsequently admitted to the Georgetown Public Hospital for treatment. When detectives visited the scene, no spent shells were recovered. However, several CCTV cameras were observed in the area, and police will be reviewing the video footage as part of their ongoing investigation. Tafin Khan retains National Chess Championship title. Tafin Khan, the national chess champion, successfully defended his title for the second consecutive year at the new GPC Inc. 2024 championship held at the National Racquet Center. The competition featured the top 9 finalists, including 2 junior players, who challenged the 2023 champion. The finalists were 5 Master FM, Anthony Drayton, Justino da Silva, Roberto Neto, Candidate Master SCM, Ronuel Greenidge, 2023 Junior Champion Karen Sandiford, Sachin Pitambur, Loris Nathu, Kyle Couchman, and Ethan Lee. In the final round, Khan faced his strongest challenger, Anthony Drayton. The match concluded in under 30 moves, with Khan securing an early advantage by trapping Drayton's bishop, leading to a decisive position. Drayton conceded defeat on move 27, well before the endgame. Khan also received automatic wins earlier in the championship due to no-shows by opponents Justino da Silva and Roberto Neto. Housewife granted bail on narcotics trafficking charge. Jasodra Muriel, a 26-year-old housewife from Long Dam, Cane Grove, East Coast Demerara, was granted bail following her arrest on June 13, 2024, for possession of narcotics intended for trafficking. Muriel was found with 667 grams of marijuana. On Friday, Muriel appeared before Principal Magistrate Alan Wilson at the Mahaica Magistrate Court. After the charge was read to her, she pleaded not guilty. Magistrate Wilson set bail at $150,000, and the case was adjourned to July 5, 2024. Truck driver remanded on multiple charges, including firearm and narcotics possession. Shaquille Grant, a 27-year-old truck driver residing at Lot 346 Section B, Sophia, Georgetown, was remanded to prison following his arrest on June 11, 2024, by a rank from the Sparendam Police Station. Grant faces multiple charges, including illegal possession of firearms and ammunition, and narcotics trafficking. Grant was officially charged on Friday with the following offenses: possession of firearm without license, contrary to Section 16(2)(a) of the Firearms Act, Chapter 1605 of the Laws of Guyana. Possession of ammunition without a license, contrary to Section 16(2)(a) of the Firearms Act, Chapter 1605 of the Laws of Guyana. Possession of narcotics, contrary to Section 4(1)(a)(i) of the Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Substance Control Act, Chapter 1010, 8.5 grams of cannabis. Grant appeared before Magistrate Abigail Gibbs at the Sparendam Magistrates Court No. 2, where he pleaded not guilty to all charges. Bail was denied, and Grant was remanded to prison. The court has adjourned the matter to July 17, 2024, for disclosure of further details. 56-year-old busted with 9 kilograms of cannabis remanded to prison. Lalbadar Baiju, a 56-year-old resident of Plantation Hope, Bath Settlement, has been remanded to prison after being charged with possession of narcotics. The charge was brought before him on Friday by Leonora Magistrate Alicia George, following his arrest on Thursday with 9 kilograms of cannabis. Baiju, who is no stranger to the ranks of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, CANU, was apprehended in Porica, East Bank Essequibo. Acting on a tip-off, CANU officers located Baiju sitting in the driver's seat of a motorcar. A search of the vehicle revealed 3 parcels of cannabis wrapped in transparent plastic on the back seat and another parcel in the trunk. Baiju was immediately informed of the offense, arrested, and taken to CANU headquarters, where the cannabis was weighed and confirmed to be 9 kilograms. Baiju, who has a history with CANU, was previously arrested in 2022. He was intercepted with 52 kilograms of cannabis during a police roadblock at Baturverwagding Railway Embankment, East Coast Demerara. At that time, Baiju was driving a Route 50 minibus, BXX 6792, which was transporting the narcotics. He was remanded to prison but later secured bail pending trial. Magistrate Alicia George has remanded Baiju to prison until his next court appearance on July 30, 2024. Emmanuel Archibald sets new national record in men's 100 meters at National Track and Field Championships. Emmanuel Archibald delivered an exceptional performance on the opening day of the National Track and Field Championships, setting a new personal best and national record of 10.09 seconds in the men's 100 meters. During the marquee event at the National Track and Field Centre in Edinburgh on Saturday, Archibald showcased his remarkable speed and skill. The soon-to-be 30-year-old erased the previous national record of 10.12 seconds, set by Adam Harris a decade ago in Trinidad and Tobago. Archibald, who also holds the national long jump record, 8.12 meters, dominated the race from start to finish, successfully defending his national title. In the blue ribbon event, he led Nolex Holder, 10.23 seconds, and Revan Williams, 10.40 seconds, onto the podium. With his winning time, the native of Linden established himself as the fastest man in Guyana's history. Meanwhile, Olympian Jasmine Abrams won the women's 100 meters, clocking a blistering 11.18 seconds. The national 100-meter record holder led Giovanna Cornett, 11.32 seconds, and Athalia Hinkson, 11.49 seconds, into the top 3. Among other notable winners were Aaliyah Abrams in the women's 400 meters, Malachi Austin in the men's 400 meters, Nat Rena Hooper in the women's triple jump, Leslane Baird in the men's javelin, and Atoya Harvey in both the women's 1500 meters and 5000 meters. Action in the two-day event continues today, starting at 10 o'clock hours. 8 Indian nationals deported to Suriname for illegal entry into Guyana. 8 Indian nationals were deported to Suriname on Friday after illegally entering Guyana through the No. 63 beach in Region 6, East Berbice Quarantine. The deportation followed their detention by police during a routine patrol. At approximately 12:30 a.m., a police mobile patrol unit at the No. 63 beach entrance observed 2 motor vehicles, PAB 9258 and HD 26, moving northward and suddenly coming to a stop. Upon investigation, officers found each vehicle contained 4 Indian nationals along with the driver. The individuals were taken to the Springlands police station where they were identified as follows. Saurabh, 22, from India. Ravi Sahil, 26, a farmer from Delhi, India. Rahul, 23, a farmer from Chandigarh, India. Sagar, 23, a farmer from Chandigarh, India. Gurlal Singh Bajwa, 19, from Bareilly, India. Hardeep Singh, 36, a farmer from Chandigarh, India. Baldev Singh, 23, a farmer from Dehradun, India. Gurjeet Singh, 22, a farmer from Jalandhar, India. Inspection of their Republic of India issued passports revealed that they had arrived in Suriname between May 18 and May 27, 2024, and entered Guyana without presenting themselves to the Guyana immigration officer. It was reported that the men had plans to travel to the United States, but none of their passports contained U.S. visas. Divisional Commander of Region 6, Shivprasad Bacchus, confirmed that the foreigners were handed over to the Immigration Department and subsequently deported to Suriname, the last country they had legally visited. Police report surge in speeding tickets on East Bank Demerara, intensify enforcement measures. The Guyana Police Force, GPF, has announced a significant increase in speeding tickets issued to errant drivers in Division 4B, East Bank Demerara, for the current year, surpassing last year's record of approximately 370 tickets. Sergeant Rose, who leads the Soesdijk-Linden Highway Patrol Base, reported this spike and emphasized the need for intensified enforcement efforts. The more you plead with drivers to slow down, it's like you are asking them to do the opposite, Sergeant Rose said. He highlighted the troubling rise in fatalities and accidents this year compared to the same period last year. Despite being aware of less than ideal road conditions, drivers continue to speed, prompting the police to adopt stricter measures. In response, Sergeant Rose and his team have enhanced their enforcement strategies by varying the locations of their speed checks to catch more offenders and deter reckless driving. What we intend to do is get out there and be there. People would see the police, and when they pass the police, it's a whole different ballgame. So, what we do from time to time, we stagger it. One time you will see us at Yarrow Cabra, then you will see us at Long Creek, he explained. Despite these efforts, drivers have found ways to alert each other about police presence using signals such as flashing lights or making phone calls. They have a way where they would flash at each other or call each other and tell them that police or Rose is on the road, Sergeant Rose noted. Sergeant Rose made a heartfelt plea to drivers to slow down and exercise more caution on the roads. He emphasized the collective responsibility to reduce accidents and fatalities. Sometimes you catch drivers doing 130. Just slow down. If you leave at a certain time, you will arrive on time. If you know for a fact you are tired, we are asking you to pull to the left or right of the road and take a 5, he appealed. The most recent fatal accident on the Linden-Soesdijk Highway occurred a month ago, claiming the lives of 5 individuals, including 2 who perished in a 2-vehicle collision at Long Creek. Those who have perished in recent accidents along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway are Dwaylen Farrell, head of the Industrial Technology Department at New Silver City Secondary School, Russell Leacock, a senior mistress at Kwakwani Primary School, Edo Leacock and pensioner Jeremy Hall, both from Kwakwani, Region 10, Upper Demerara Burbus, and Pastor Clinton Patterson, who succumbed to his injuries while receiving medical treatment at the Linden Hospital Complex. The tragic accident involved 2 vehicles traveling in opposite directions, with reports indicating that reckless driving by both drivers led to the collision. The GPF continues to urge drivers to adhere to speed limits and exercise caution to prevent further loss of life on the roads.
Can you give us an update on when the government plans to commence rolling out the vouchers for cervical cancer testing?
They haven't done that as yet. Frank Anthony told me 3 weeks. They told me within 3 weeks, and that was like a month and a half ago. They told me they'd be ready for both the spectacles. Next Tuesday it starts? Okay. For both the spectacles and the cervical cancer, the screening, because we got to get it out. It's a large number of persons, maybe 350,000 women will have to collect that voucher and then go in for the test.
And finally, at a recent press conference, you also mentioned, I know you mentioned that the $7 billion cost of living allocation will be utilized near to the end of the year or later in the year. But can you say what immediate measures the government is looking at now to lessen the impact?
Yeah, because the problem is that a lot of this is not driven by domestic factor. It's imported inflation. So I see a lot of things written, and the analysis are shoddy because like this freight rate increasing from 3.5 to 20,000 per container coming from China. We can remove the taxes, but very little else you can do on that sort of thing. None of our inflation is driven by taxes because inflation is driven by cost push from the government. So the government type inflation is when you increase taxes, you increase the fees for government services. But look at what we have done. We've reduced the fee, we've reduced the taxes for about 40 billion, all the VAT, etc. We have removed the 50% tax on fuel, which is about a $75 billion benefit to people. So everybody benefits from it, but they don't see it directly. We have removed the 50% excise tax. We removed a ton of value-added tax. We have adjusted the freight costs for calculation of taxes. Those are things we did. We have absorbed the price increases that should have come for electricity because of fuel increase. So the price of fuel went up from $70 that we are budgeting. Now we are paying over $105, maybe $110 per barrel. So that means yesterday they told us $66 million more than what GPL budgeted for fuel. But we're not increasing the price of electricity. In another country, they would have increased the price of electricity. So that means before the end of the year, we'll go to Parliament for a supplementary of $66 million for just subsidizing electricity. We have to go to the Parliament for that before the recess, because of just fuel prices. And people would say, oh, we're not getting no benefit. The government not dealing with cost of living. $66 million. But if you look at the quantum of fuel and the movement from $70 to $100 and something. So this is, no government has been doing this sort of thing. No one have done it. They had it where the fuel prices were $30 a barrel. And still, they kept the prices at where it is today. $30 a barrel. Now it's over $100 a barrel. So none of it has been pushed by government services. If we didn't do that, if we didn't keep water rate constant and electricity rates constant and remove the taxes from fuel so that transportation, the price wouldn't increase for gasoline and diesel too much, it would have pushed up transportation, water, electricity. And people don't recognize that the tens of billions of dollars going into that. They're looking for specific handout. But there's some that we can control, like the freight increases.